Hey everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Weeaboo Wednesday. I'm filming this now so that I can release it while I'm away in Japan. So I just wanted to show you a really cool figure I have here. It's actually a model kit of the RX78 Gundam. Of course, this is the classic original Gundam from the original Mobile Suit Gundam. This is the one that started it all. So let's get into things. There's some awesome art on the box, but I just want to open this right away. That's a little bit weird. Where are all the little gates that have all the parts attached to it? Okay, well, while there were no runners in the box, there was this big black bag. But what's in the bag? What the heck? This isn't a Gundam! Or is it? All jokes aside, this is what was supposed to be in that bag. This is a special collaborative shoe that was created by 361 Degrees. This is a Chinese company that does a lot of different fashions such as shoes, bags, and even shirts and stuff like that. And this was a collaborative event between them and Gundam for the anniversary. Now, the 40th anniversary of the Gundam franchise has seen some really interesting collaborative events, and one of them is even that they're going to launch Gundam models into space for the 2020 Olympics. But this is what we're dealing with today. This is the RX78 shoe from 361 Degrees. As you can see here, there's a tag on there showing the 361 Degrees logo and a bunch of text that I cannot read, as well as another tag, and that's pretty much all there is to it. There was nothing else in the bag, and they did indeed come in a bag. I had to order these on some Chinese website, of which I was kind of confused on how to work, but somehow I was able to get my order in, and here they are. I've had them for a while, so I want to really bring to you an interesting review, because I haven't seen anybody else do it. There have been Gundam shoes in the past, but I never found them very interesting. I think it was a missed opportunity not giving them a really cool box, of which I was even tempted to make my own, but let's just get into the shoe review. Yeah, a shoe review. What the hell? What is this channel coming to? So the shoe itself looks like a typical athletic shoe. It's pretty good looking, a lot of white, and then there's red and blue accents all over it, as well as what looks to be the eyes of a Gundam. This is super cool. A friend of mine pointed out that it actually looks like the shoes of a Gundam, like it actually looks like the feet of a mobile suit, so that's kind of interesting as well, though I don't quite see it as much. The eyes are what really sell this to me. They look really cool, and other than them just kind of looking like a regular pair of athletic shoes, I just love the fact that these are Gundams. This little red accent here where you put the shoelace, the blue there, all of it looks really good. Even this little logo on the tongue of the shoe is very appropriate. The one thing that's kind of weird is that this tongue is very spongy. It feels like it's just going to get dirty because of the way the material is, but we'll see. They're white shoes, so they're pretty much destined to get screwed up. Of course, we have some Gundam branding right here, that of course saying Gandamu in Japanese, and I don't know what that is, but it looks like it might say Remix. Who knows? On the back there's a little tail, which is branded RX78-2, which is pretty cool. I actually really like that a lot. That looks really nice. And of course on the back of the shoe, there's that bit of a yellow window there on this blue, which really goes well. It contrasts nicely, especially with the black next to it, and then the white on top and bottom. And finally the red and blue on the bottom of the shoe, as well as a brand on the heel. And a little window in the front that sort of looks like panel lining to me. Ultimately, the shoe looks great. Take this little thing out and look inside. And there is, of course, more branding, the 361 Degrees plus Gundam sort of crossover logo there. And that's pretty much it. They're shoes, so I really don't know what else to say. Both shoes are identical, and this is one of several pairs, so if these aren't your style, they had a Char's Red Zaku as well, and even some additional types that I was not going to go through and try to get any more than these, because these were expensive enough. Now, these weren't that expensive. They were only, I think, around 50, 60 bucks, but ultimately importing them was the expensive part. So I think in total, after everything, I probably spent about $80 on these, which is fair because shoes in America are just as much. what exactly do I think about these shoes? Well, they're pretty cool, but I guess the big thing is if they're comfortable, right? And they are pretty comfortable. They're actually pretty soft. They have a very basic insole there, and you could of course replace that if you like, but ultimately, these are for show. They look sort of like athletic shoes, but my biggest problem with them is that you can't really lace them up very tight, so I like to go on runs with my shoes tied pretty tight so there's no flopping, and I can get the maximum distance out of my run. Whereas these, you would probably want to go a little smaller, but then you run the risk of them being too small, and shipping them back to China might be a little more difficult than it's worth. If you take a look here, you'll see that the very last loop is really wide, so tightening the laces is kind of hard since there's only a few loops for them to go through. But I mean, it's not all bad. They are nice shoes. They're certainly a really cool collector's piece, especially if you're a Gundam fan, or if you just like peculiar looking shoes. These will certainly get some looks out in public. I don't think they look terribly worse than most athletic shoes, because I've seen some really ugly running shoes, and I wear running shoes almost exclusively outside of work. The one thing I'll give them is that the heel has a bit of cushion right there, and that actually makes them incredibly comfortable on the heel. But that also may be why they feel a little bit more loose to me. But either way, I still think they're a solid shoe, and for the price, you really can't beat it. Importing them was a bit of a pain, but ultimately, I'm glad I did it, because these are cool shoes, I'm a huge Gundam fan, and I'm probably going to wear these to Japan, so there you go. They're shoes though, so I really don't know if I want to give them a rating. It's not like it's a figure. I mean, they're cool shoes and they're comfortable enough, so there's my rating. Get them if you like them. They're certainly a lot cheaper than what I'll typically buy. I just spent $150 on a pair of Under Armour shoes, though I had a coupon, so I didn't spend that much. But that's what shoes typically cost in America, anywhere around 80 or $100 for a decent pair. But with that, that's going to do it for this video. If you did like this video, please make sure to leave a like, and if you want to talk about these shoes and tell me if you think they're ugly or if you'd wear them, why don't you drop a comment and do that? I'm always making new videos, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you get my videos as soon as they come out. I'm going to link something right here for you to watch, and it's actually going to be the Weeaboo Wednesday when I first announced that these shoes were going to be coming out, so I've been on the ball for quite some time. Until next time, make your love for anime fly and fight with the fierceness of a Gundam! Yeah.